What's up? We are live.
All right, dude. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
Happy holidays to
Happy Holidays to
everybody
everyone.
listening.
Yeah. So, of course, as is tradition in the Sam and Leo podcast that hasn't been going for at least a year, so this is a new tradition. We're gonna do the best and worst things of 2016. So,
What do you
this
want to
is
start with?
all right. So we have each of us have some categories that we haven't told each other. So
Mhm.
there should be some interesting stuff in there, or
Some
anyway.
nice surprises.
We'll see. We'll see. So we'll start with some smooth ones, something a low ball to make sure that you're prepared for it.
Uh,
So, what was the best city we visited together on 2016 for you? I'll have
uh,
my other. I could have a different opinion.
I mean, there's a lot of different metrics. Like, in what way
Well,
was it the best? But I'm gonna say for hanging out.
everything. Like we've been around this year.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna. This I'm thinking of a lot of things,
Uh,
and I'm hoping that they all actually happened in 2016.
okay. So
I'm
what?
gonna say the best city this year for hanging out was Honolulu.
Honolulu. Okay.
That was this year, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was this year.
Okay, cool.
I,
Because
I,
for hanging out, I think that was the best because like there was all sorts of time. It was really chill. It wasn't necessarily the best for like events or anything,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
for just like hanging out with everybody, I
Yeah,
give that
actually.
one the top pick of 2016. How about
All
you?
right. Yeah. My best city 2016 was Tokyo, of course.
Yeah.
First time in Tokyo, and it was the beginning of the year.
Yep.
So, and it was the first time, of course. It's a little special, but hey, Honolulu was amazing too. So,
Yeah, that was the other one I was thinking about.
I mean, man, Tokyo was nuts.
That was crazy. I can't believe that was this year or last, like just a year ago.
It was, yeah, about a year ago. It's pretty crazy. All right,
Sweet.
hit me up. Hit it up with one of yours. What you got?
Okay.
Show me what you got.
How about worst thing you cooked in 2016?
Uh,
And if you need a moment to think, I will start off
yeah. Start.
with you can probably imagine what my choice will be. Worst thing I cooked in 2016 was corn tacos.
Corn.
The that as opposed to flour tacos, soft corn tacos because A, I didn't even know what I was buying. And B, I had none of the ingredients to actually cook something after I understood what I bought and made no attempt to get the proper ingredients. So I was
Yeah.
just throwing things together and in the end I found that like in that class of things, I really prefer like flour tortillas to like
Uh-huh.
corn based
Yeah.
whatevers. So I didn't even like them, even when I was able to cobble together something.
Oh my god.
So I give those the worst thing I have cooked in the last year.
Mm. Okay. I think the worst thing that I cooked, it wasn't anything like that, because that was hilarious. But the worst thing I cooked was probably just some like, I think it was, I cooked some chicken that was already bad, because like I was making my lunches, so I would just fry a lot of chicken, put it
Uh-huh.
in Tupperware with some veggies and stuff. But it's like you can only fry so many pieces of chicken at one time. So
Yeah.
after I fried three of them, the pan is like all stuck with chicken pieces and
Yeah.
disgusting. So I was like, okay, so I'll put it back in the fridge, right? But
Hmm.
not in the freezer, just in the fridge. So then a couple days go by, I eat all the lunches I had prepared. So it's like, oh, guess what? It's time to make another one. So I make another one, and then I put it back in the thing. But a couple of things happened. I didn't eat at home, um, and I a couple days go by, and I grab the chicken bag. I'm like, I smell it. It's like, oh, it smells pretty good. I mean, it smells normal, right?
Uh-huh.
So I cook it, and then I put it in the Tupperware, and then like a whole week went by, and I forgot about it. So I was like, I smell it. It's like, oh, okay, this is pretty good still.
Yeah.
Open up, eat it. It's like, oh my god, it was so bad. It smelled normal, but it was so like, when you have ham that you don't close the thing properly, and
Uh-huh.
like it sweats, and it's like disgusting.
Mm.
Oh my, it was so bad. That was probably the worst food I ever cooked in 2016. Just chicken that went bad and I ate it. I mean, I'm not
That's
too smart, I guess.
that's a solid contender right there.
Yeah. I mean, salmonella pretty up there, yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been that bad. Let's see. I have okay. So we've been to a lot of cities together this year. What was the worst one? We talk about the best one. What was the worst one?
The worst city? I mean, the worst neighborhood has to be. Were you at San Francisco?
No, I wasn't there.
Ah, damn, that was still the worst. Well, that was the worst that I was at.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
That horrible, horrible neighborhood that was the most like destitute, drugged out, crime filled, literally covered in fecal matter place that I had to stand for like 24 hours in the middle of the night, and it was also a little bit cold, so like it was just absolutely horrible.
Wow. Yeah, you got some stories for that one.
What's your worst?
I think the worst city that we were together on was remember in Japan when after that Lifehouse when we were walking around like trying to find the train station, and it was like midnight or 1 a.m. or something. Just couldn't find the thing. It was like
we like came across the Scientology building.
Oh yeah, we did. That's right. Oh my god, that's true.
And your phone was dead, and like
it was so bad. It was just so many bad things at once, and we couldn't find the place.
Yeah.
And then we were like right next to the train tracks, but we couldn't find the station, so we were just walking along them.
Yeah.
And the streets were super dark. That was
There's
pretty.
no people around. We were going down like alleys and stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why it seems like freaking Shinjuku, like I seem to get out in these weird places. Like there's train stations literally every half a block. Except around these live houses.
Yeah. Where they're always like in the middle of nowhere.
It's just absolute nothing around.
Yeah.
Okay. What about best game of 2016?
Best game of 2016. Let's see. Do you have yours? Because I gotta probably think about this a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the best single game of 2016. I think is Doom, the remake, because they sort of like pulled off the impossible. Like they took an old title that people haven't played, or like they took it's one of the only times where you get like the whole nostalgic thing re-released and redone, and they actually pulled it off. Like it actually felt like the old Doom games from the very beginning of PC gaming. And it was pretty solid all the way through. It got a little bit sort of repetitive or sort of samey, kind of like things. It was just sort of like the parts that made it amazing were also the only downsides of it. Like it was just like totally in your face, like aggressive, super violent, like all the things you'd expect from a Doom game. But like it was that to such an intensity that you can't just sit down and play it for like 8 hours straight. It's just like someone just hammering you in the face for like 8 hours is too much. Like, but that's what made it so great. So it was perfect. You play it like an hour at a time until you beat it. The storyline was decent, and the graphics were insane. I saw like a whole publication that broke down how they did the graphics, and it's like 50 different steps to render each frame. It's insane.
Wow.
And so that I think is the best single title of 2016.
That's interesting. I'm not sure if I can get like just one game. I'll have to go to like different stages or different like styles of games, because like AAA games, I'll probably say my favorite game of 2016 was Dishonored 2.
I didn't play that one.
Oh well, the Dishonored. I love the first one a lot, and the second one I haven't been in it yet, but it's amazing. And but if like there's so many other games that I've like just taken a liking into, like Darkest Dungeon, super fun game, and it's like $15 or something. And it's like super hard, challenging, great graphics, great music. It's a good game overall. But I feel kind of it's like I can't just say this is the best game I played all year. It's good, but it just keeps me entertained. I feel like entertaining games are worth more in my eyes, or games that that have high replay value.
Yeah.
So like my all-time favorite game probably be FTL, just because I can always go back to it and play it. It's like,
did you ever beat that one?
Yeah, a couple times.
Huh.
With a couple different ships too.
Nice.
It's pretty hard though. It's not easy.
It is pretty tough. It takes me like several attempts to get to the final boss. And then most of the time I arrive at the final boss and I'm just like a walking train wreck.
You're almost dead.
I'm pretty much killing myself with my own ship at that point. So many things are failing. I have like 2 guys left, maybe. And then there's this massive battle cruiser or whatever the hell.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you're doing me a favor. Just finish this ship off. Just end it.
Let's see. I have another category here. Okay, so let's get into music. So what's the best band of 2016 for you? Or your favorite one of this year?
I'd have to sort of break it into like 2 categories. Like the best band that I sort of really got into in 2016, I would have to say would be Baby Metal.
Okay.
I knew about them before, but I never really listened to their stuff much. But then I went to see one of their shows when they came around.
Yeah, that I convinced you to go.
And I was like, oh, I get it. This is why they're like massively popular.
Yeah.
I understand it now. And I've got all their CDs and crap and stuff like that. I haven't gone to another live yet, but if they come around again, I definitely would.
Yeah, that'll be your best new artist to you, right?
Yeah, new artist to me for this year.
All right, cool. What's the best band like overall that you've just seen? Like, okay, I can't think of 2016 and not think of this one band or something.
Definitely would have to be the Perfume Cosmic Explorer tour. Like that was like super. I thought the album was like really solid, and the tour was just crazy. Like all those U.S. stops, one after another.
Yeah,
and
that was pretty nuts.
Definitely like knocked it out of the park this year.
How
about you?
Yeah. Well, the band for me for 2016 will have to be Gesu no Kiwami Otome. I found out about them like January / February. Like when we were in Japan, Neil was telling me about them, but I was like, I don't really, or I just wasn't interested. Then he showed them to me, and I was like, I'm still not interested. But then I was like, you know what? I went home and I was like, you know what? Let's give those guys another listen. And I was like, holy crap, these guys are amazing. So the thing about why this band is the best band of 2016 is just because they were like incredibly hyped at the beginning, and they were like on fire throughout the year until the vocalist kept doing stupid things with his basically with his penis. So he kept getting into trouble with like women, and he cheated on his wife, and then the band had to stop. Then he apologized, he came back into the scene. Everybody didn't forget about him or his bad things, but they were like, okay, fine. Okay, everybody makes mistakes, right? So he comes back. The band's still making, appearances everywhere. They're making a new album. It's amazing. And then this guy gets caught with drinking with his 20-year-old or 19-year-old girlfriend at a bar. And turns out Japan's drinking age is 20. So he got in a ton of trouble. So then the band stops again in November. And now they've been dropped by their first label. So it's like, oh my god, dude. Is this over? Is this it? So because it's been a wild ride. I would say this is the best band of 2016. Also, they're one of my favorite artists because the guy is, even though he's a dick, he's
Uh-huh.
really talented and like amazing.
Hmm.
But the new artist, who would be the new artist? I want to say Baby Metal because I knew them last year, but my best new artist would be Chance the Rapper.
Hmm.
So I hadn't heard of this guy before, but I kept seeing him pop up on like social media or Reddit, and I was like, you know what? I keep seeing this guy everywhere. So I was like, you know what? Let's give it a listen.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to like I look it up on Amazon, and he doesn't have anything on Amazon. So I'm like, who the what? Isn't this guy like super famous or something?
Yeah.
So I Google his stuff like Chance the Rapper music, and turns out he puts it all for free.
Hmm.
So I was like, what?
How does
So
how does he like make his a living?
I'm not sure, but he might have some kind of contract with someone, you know, where, but he just doesn't. I guess he doesn't want labels influencing him, so he just releases his shit for free. And he has like endorsements, I guess, with clothing or something like that. I'm not sure how he makes his money,
Hmm.
but all his music is for free. So I was like, holy crap, this guy is already amazing. And then I look at his songs, right? And he has songs with like Kanye West, Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz, Justin Bieber. So I'm like, what? How the hell did this guy get on with all these people? And all their songs are truly, truly amazing. I really like this guy.
Nice.
So yeah, he would be my top for best new artist to me in 2016.
Hmm. I'll have to check him out. I've seen a lot of references to him around, but haven't heard any of his stuff.
Yeah.
What
That's-
about movies?
Movies.
What was your top pick
best movie?
of either that was new to you or new this year? Just top movie
Okay.
for this year.
My best movie of this year, released this year,
Mm.
was Passenger. Oh shit, no, that movie sucked. Arrival. Sorry.
Oh wait, best. Yeah. Okay. How's
Best.
this work?
Okay, right. Sorry. So best movie. So obviously we have to go back to worst one, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have
The
to go
best
back. I
movie
guess.
is Arrival. So
Mhm.
this movie is maybe it wasn't the best movie for everyone else. Like probably Star Wars has more connections to these people.
Yeah.
Maybe La La Land connected with them because they talk about LA in a certain way. Like most of the New York City movies talk about New York in a certain way, so people from New York kind of connect.
Hmm.
So La La Land kind of does that for LA, but Arrival is a movie about this language teacher that has done work for the government before, but she's teaching now at like a university or something.
Mhm.
And then aliens suddenly land on Earth. So the army goes up to her and they're like, "Hey, I need you. We need you." So she's like, "Okay, fine." So they go, and the movie's about her communicating with the aliens, like
Mm.
trying to communicate or how to communicate, how they were doing or how she's doing it step by step. And that kind of like lit something on me that said, okay, I really want to study languages and I really want to do that, like
Hmm.
as for a living or something.
That's
So
interesting.
that's why it's like my favorite movie of this year, just because it kind of connected with me. So
Mm-hmm.
how about yours?
Sweet. Yeah. So my favorite movie this year didn't come out this year. It came out 2015, but
Uh-huh.
it's definitely Ex Machina.
Okay.
And the movie, it's like, Star Trek like got interesting to me because when I got into Star Trek, like when I was a kid or whatever, I
Mhm.
thought I was watching a movie about spaceships and space fights and aliens and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But Star Trek is really actually about the characters. And
Okay.
it sort of tricks you in a way, you think you're going to watch like technology space battle like TV show, and you
Mhm.
find you're really actually pulled in by the characters.
Okay.
And that's actually the strong suit. And Ex Machina is like that. Like, I don't even want to say anything about the plot because it's so good. Like, I don't want to, like, people should just watch it. But the topic is like AI and stuff,
Mhm.
which is something I'm like super into. So that's why I like checked out the movie. but it's actually the characters and the plot of the movie that's like, it's just freaking, it's brilliant. Like, I watched it like 3 times now, and it's great to watch it the first time when you don't know what's going to happen, just see how the story goes. And then once you know how the story goes, to watch it again and see all the details about how it's actually unfolding, and to watch the movie. There's only like 4 characters in the movie, like main characters. And to like watch it over and over, like each time thinking about how the plot appears from each character's point of view and what their act like. I don't want to spoil any of it, but like
wait. I think I've seen this movie.
You've seen it?
Yeah, is this the one about the AI that they hire, or they kind of get this kid to test
Yeah, that's the one.
The law of, what is it, to see if the robot can pass as a human?
Yeah, and he goes out to the eccentric guy's like house or whatever.
Yeah. I've seen it. It's good.
Yeah, that was my top pick for this.
That's pretty
year.
good. Yeah, that's a pretty good movie. I liked it. And then, so you just,
well, spoiler alert.
well, that's from last year, so
it is kind of old. But yeah,
and it's January of 2015, so it's been 2 years. I think we're on the clear there.
Yeah, probably if people have wanted to see it, they could see it.
I mean, right. Sorry about that.
I could go back and edit it and make you say something else.
I think it's fine. You don't have to worry about that.
What
about the worst movie you ever saw this year?
I didn't really see any. I don't know if I have a worst movie this year.
Not even like a Netflix movie that you were like, oh, this looks interesting. Holy fuck, why did I watch that? Nothing like that?
On Netflix, it wasn't really a movie, but it was a series. There was that 3% series. And it had gotten like really good reviews.
Yeah, what? I thought that was great.
Did you see that?
I haven't seen it yet, but I thought the premise looked good. Well, you thought it was trash?
It doesn't live up to the hype that people had for it.
I see.
Like, I mean, the production values were all right, but it was clearly pretty low budget.
Oh, okay.
And the plot was all right, but I mean, I don't regret watching it, but okay, so here's what it is. It's just too long for the amount of ideas that they had.
Oh, okay.
Like you hear about people talking about that a lot when they're making YouTube videos. Like, someone will have an idea that's an amazing 1-minute video, and the video is 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, this was a good idea, but now it's just too long.
Yeah, okay.
And I felt like that 3% was about twice as long as it should have been.
Okay.
If they had pulled it in, it would have. I mean, it's still not bad, and I watched it all the way through to the end. But It was just like, wow, they really drove this out along.
Can this be over, please?
Yeah, like I get like this plot is good, but it's taken way too long to get to the end.
I see. Wow. The worst thing that I saw this year, it's like this is a Netflix drama from like Japan. And the only problem with it was that it's like, okay, so guy by chance gets to live with this girl in a dorm. So they're both high school students, right? So of course they can't tell anyone that they're living together because they're trying to get away from their parents, right? But so this is how it goes, right? Guy hates girl. Girl kind of likes the guy. Then shit happens, of course. And then guy does something cool for girl. So girl falls in love with him, and she's kind of like getting close to him. But this is Japan we're talking about, right? So of course the guy is like pushing her away, even though she totally wants him and he totally wants her, right? So he's like, "Oh, please don't touch me."
Yeah, don't no way.
Stop! Stop touching me. I know we live together alone, and we both like each other, but don't touch me.
But we can't do this. So.
Right? Obviously.
Obviously.
So this goes on, and this becomes like the girl meets another guy somewhere. Then original guy gets jealous. And then shit happens that makes him even more jealous. He gets some kind of girl somehow, meets or like an old love or something like that. The original girl gets jealous, so they both hate each other now. Then they make up. Then they're fine, right?
Yeah.
Then one episode later, literally the exact same thing happened. The original girl gets a job with a good-looking guy. Guy gets jealous. Guy goes out with like a friend. She misinterpreted it, thinking that they're together or she likes her, but they both hate each other. So I was like, I saw this pattern. I was like, stop. I have to stop watching this fucking show because there's no point, right? It's just gonna keep repeating itself for no fucking reason.
It's always super annoying when there's a show. And I don't know if this fits this one you're talking about, but like it drives me crazy when I'm watching a show and the characters are not acting at all the way I would act myself or expect people to act. It's just like infuriating because you're just watching someone do the wrong thing for hours. And it's
like, dude, you get paid for this.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes I guess people eat that shit up, but I just can't get through that. Something like that is so boring.
Yeah.
It's like the shows that I like the most when it comes to romance is when stuff actually happens. It's like on all these Japanese ones, they're the worst because in Japan is really the worst when it comes to like relationships or showing any kind of affection, right?
Yeah. So
like you'll be watching 48 episodes, all right, no joke, and then the last episode they hold hands. So, are you kidding me? These guys aren't even in high school; they're in college. You have got to be kidding me, dude. People in the U.S. in the second episode there'll be some kind of banging.
Yeah.
Make it interesting, right? Not in Japan, bro. Oh my god. So there's some rare shows from Japan, like anime or dramas that do talk about the depth of like an actual relationship of adults, not kids, adults. So those are good. But when nothing happens for like 24, 48 episodes, it's just like too much.
Yeah.
Well, I got a category right here.
Okay.
What's the best food you ate in the whole year? It's your the one that most memorable or best tasting that you can remember?
I'm gonna have to give it to that roast beef we had in Harajuku.
Oh, okay. Oh,
that was ridiculous. Like, I mean, it has to be like mind blowing, right? If like a year later, I'm thinking back and my mouth is just watering, like
like you want to go right now.
Like I could just picture like the plate or the bowl or whatever.
The bowl. Oh man, that was the weirdest thing too. Like, hey, I know this place they sell good roast beef.
Right? It doesn't sound like something you'd expect.
Roast beef in Japan, but we're from America. Couldn't have been more wrong.
What was your top choice?
I have to say Musubi Cafe.
I should have expected that.
Oh my god, that place was so freaking
The avocado
good.
One, the avocado Musubi was really good.
It was just like, I just recently saw, like, I'm watching this Japanese drama or Japanese kind of like a reality show where they're in Honolulu. And in one episode, they had Musubi Cafe. Like they went to the beach and they were eating like a picnic. And then they bust out 8 of the Musubi Cafe spam musubi stuff. I was like, oh my god! And you can recognize them because they're tightly wrapped in plastic. Oh my god! I was like, holy crap! That is so good.
That's how you know you're a real connoisseur. is like you look at how the plastic is wrapped around the Musubi.
And you're like, oh,
And
that's
you're like, I know
that
which
place.
shop that came from. Like,
Yeah. It's just I was like, okay, you cannot, even though all of them, all the places wrap it in plastic, that place has a specific way of making their spam musubis, and I remember it because we went there like every single day.
yeah, we went
for
there
like a week.
several times.
It was amazing.
It was really good.
And like I could eat any spam musubi. Like I was eating the regular ones because they were cheaper, like from the grocery store. But those were just special, dude. Like the avocado with bacon, it was so good, so
bacon. I forgot about that. Have you tried making your own?
Nah, actually, I haven't. Oh well, you know what? We did spam musubi, but I can't remember when it was. But yeah, it was pretty good. It wasn't nowhere near that level, but
Yeah.
spam. Glenn bought spam and he fried it, and then Jade has a little musubi maker thing. So like you put the rice in it, and then it has like a press. So you press it, so it's tight like a square. Then you put the spam on it, and it has like you put the seaweed, and it kind of flips two things, and it kind of rolls around. It's actually pretty cool.
Interesting. I might have to look for that. I have not had any since getting back, because of course you cannot buy that in New England. Like,
Of course.
there's nothing like that around here at all.
But yeah, that was oh my god, now I just want some. Yes, that's
That was
dangerous.
really
as fuck.
good.
Let's see, what else do I have? What's the best random thing that happened to you in 2016? Something you were not expecting at all. Something someone just like improvised out of nowhere and ended up being like amazing. So what I was thinking when I came up with this idea was last year when we were at the Perfume concert, somehow someone came up with like a sleeping bag inside like or under shade while we're waiting in line, and I slept there for like 4 hours, and it was like incredible. So something like that, something just random that you were not expecting, or someone was like, okay, let's do this, and you're like, well, that doesn't sound very good, trust me, and then you do it and it's like amazing.
I'm trying to think. We had these like so like we wait in lines for concerts for ridiculous lengths of time, right? And in Chicago there was these folding chairs that were like normally $40, but they were on sale for $10. Wait, was it Chicago or New York? I forget. I think it was Chicago. Anyway, I think it was Chicago. Anyway, so there's these chairs, and they like reclined completely, almost totally flat. And they were just way better than I expected. Like, that was the best $10 ever spent. Like, we were like sleeping in those like overnight outside and stuff, and it was like not as good as a hotel mattress, but I mean nearly. And it was like just a reclining chair.
I mean, way better than expected, right?
Way better than expected. Normally you're like, oh, I can sit down, take a load off, this is great. This was like, oh, just lean back and take a nap, like like a hammock almost. Those were really convenient.
Oh, that's crazy.
And also super cheap.
Let's see. The most random thing for me, the best random thing was discovering Shandygaff. What the fuck? That was the most weird thing that ended up being incredible. So it's like, we go to Japan, right? And then we talk to this guy, Taka. And me and Neil, we like beer. So we order beer. And we're like, oh, do you want beer? He's like, no, I don't like beer. So we're like, oh, okay. But then he orders this. He tells the waiter, like, oh, God, I want a Shandygaff. And we're like, what the fuck is a Shandygaff? He's like, oh, it's ginger beer with beer. So we're like, what? So we get some because we're at like all you can drink place. Holy fuck, dude. It was amazing. The best thing that I've ever tried when it comes to drinking something.
Nice.
Like, wow. And like everyone thinks it's fucking weird. Like we were last time a couple months ago, we're buying beer and ginger ale, and the guy was like in front of us was like, I hope you guys aren't mixing that. And we're like, yeah, we are. He's like, oh man, you guys are wrong. You guys are wrong. We're like, bruh, please.
Yeah, that's
like let me craft you one right here. Like, I would have
in the line,
like, right there, yeah, because it's so freaking good, and that was like the discovery, dude. From then on, it was just like I can't have enough of that. It's so good, and we have imported it to the U.S. Like we all have Shandy up here now because this is so good.
Nice.
That's the most.
That's also something you can actually just make yourself, like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You don't have to like craft a drink or order it at a bar or nothing like that. Yeah.
Nice.
That was amazing. All right, hit me up. What you got?
What about TV shows? Best TV show of the year.
Best TV show of the year.
I don't know what I'm gonna pick for my top one.
I like Westworld.
Westworld was really good.
But I also like Stranger Things. Did that come out this year? It did come out this year. Yeah. Stranger Things was good.
Stranger Things was interesting because you started to watch it, decided not to watch it, then I watched it, and I was like, no, watch it. And and you watched it like, I feel like you watched like 5 minutes past where you had given up before.
Yeah,
and you were like, oh my god, this is brilliant. Like,
it was literally the same episode that I had given up on. Because like, they were trying to go find the spoil. Oh, actually, I don't want to spoil that because that's fairly recent. So, but yeah, it was like they do something and I was like, oh my god, not more drama. Then suddenly it's like, oh, nope, here's something amazing and more amazing stuff. I'm like, holy fuck. So that escalated real fast. And you're right, I had given up because it was slow. Because like nobody's believing these people. Nobody's doing what they want. Nobody's understanding them. And like, I was like, oh my God, I'm so frustrated because nobody's actually understanding. And then stuff happens, and I was like, "Holy crap! Finally!" So yeah, I would definitely recommend. I think I'm gonna go with Stranger Things. Although Westworld was amazing, I think Stranger Things was more enjoyable because of you made me go back to it.
Yeah,
and it was just so much better right after that.
Yeah, Stranger Things was probably a better show, but Westworld, I think, is really impressive because it just comes completely out of left field. Like, there's no other shows like Westworld, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it, like, I feel like somehow it goes, like, Westworld is a complicated plot. And, like, fairly complicated themes and stuff.
Yeah.
And it just dives right into it. Like, oh, no problem. We're gonna, you know, throw all sorts of twists and things.
Yeah.
And that Westworld, I've only seen it once, but I've heard that that's another good one to watch again and to pick up on all the things. Now that you know how it's going to play out, you can really appreciate a second watching as well.
True. Yeah.
Stranger Things, I feel like I've watched it. It was amazing, but I'm not going to watch it
again. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
It's not one you're going to go back.
You know what? Another one that's up there for me was Luke Cage. The superhero one that Netflix made.
Yeah, I didn't check that.
Man, that was freaking cool. That was really cool.
Was it better than the what was the one that Netflix also did with the girl?
That Jessica Jones.
Yeah, was it better than that?
They're all like called the Defenders, right? But Jessica Jones has like superpowers, and she doesn't even use them until like halfway through her show. And her show is more like about the enemy of Jessica Jones is like a psychological enemy. Like, he doesn't fight them with like fights. He kind of like messes with their brain. So some shows can really use that to their advantage. So they will like plan it out, like how do we beat him? Oh, he's good at this. He's gonna play with us like this. You know, and they'll try to fight him a couple times. They'll lose, and then they'll come back and beat him in the end, right? But Luke Cage is more like, this guy is literally bulletproof, and he's a black guy in New York. So it kind of plays into that a lot. So he gets into a lot of shit, but he is obviously, you know, bulletproof and incredibly strong. But they also talk about he goes to jail. He's trying not to be the bad guy, but he doesn't want to be the hero. So it's kind of like, you know, he gets mixed up. He gets caught up in between a bunch of shit. But he actually fights. Like, he won't grab, obviously, a gun and kill people. But people will grab, like, guns and shit and, like, a tank and try to kill him. Even though he's, like, bulletproof, right? And so they find ways to beat his bulletproofness and all that shit. So it was such a good show. I saw it in, like, 2 days. It was amazing. From the first episode to the end, didn't stop. The action, the interesting parts, the drama was good. The relationship material, or like the social stuff that he goes through, because, you know, he has this power and everybody tells him, like, dude, you could do so much good. He's like, I just want to be a normal dude. And I get it, you know, because if you had super shit, you just want to be a cool, chill dude, you know, cut some hair and fucking go to sleep. And everybody's like, dude, you could be the hero this town needs. You know, it'd be kind of annoying. So they tackle that. It's just such an amazing show. I wouldn't say it's my favorite one, because Stranger Things really took that place, but Luke Cage was really good, and I can't wait for next season.
Nice. I'll have to check that one out. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, and they're gonna make more of all the Defenders. So the something Punch, I can't remember his name, but it's coming up next year, or this year, or something like that.
Nice.
Let's see, I have another category here. The best YouTube channel of 2016 that you discovered this year. So
think
it could be from all other, like, something super old that you just found this year.
There's some great ones that I've known about for a long time, so I'll disqualify them.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good question.
It's like anything that caught your eye, or like you saw, because like there's a ton that hit the front page of Reddit.
I'm trying to remember if all the shitty robot stuff was new this year, or if that was new.
I think it was this year.
Is it all this year? Because those videos with Simone are like hilarious. And another channel that I was thinking of, but was totally not new this year, was Tested. And she like works for Tested now.
Right.
And that's really cool in a whole lot of ways, because it's like it's a great fit, but also she brings like a completely different personality to the Tested like crew. Like her sense of humor is like way more quirky and blunt and stuff, whereas Tested is a bit more serious normally. So that sort of like brings a whole new dimension to it. But the whole like explosion of like seriously shitty robots, I guess you'd call it, is pretty funny.
I see. Because I saw her for the first time this year. And in like it was like a span of weeks, she was already like getting picked up by Adam Savage, right?
Yeah.
It was super fast. I was like, holy crap. And was it her the first time that you saw her was this year? Because that would be a good one.
Might have been.
Okay.
I mean,
cool.
This year was definitely the year. If I had seen him before, where it like really took off. Like there was some old videos with like the wake up alarm clock or whatever. It just like sucks your hair up into the gears.
Yeah.
But,
I saw that one.
I mean, those were pretty janky. Whereas like this year was like, you know, the popcorn hat and stuff, where it was like high production value shitty robots.
Right. Yeah. Or what was the other one? What was the alarm one? That hit her in the head several times.
Yeah, there's the alarm one. There was like cutting your hair with a drone. There was a whole mess of like robot arm ones. Like making a sandwich with a robot arm and stuff that just went horribly wrong.
Let's see. What's my favorite YouTube channel? Probably H3H3.
That's a good pick too.
That was insane. Like, I have never laughed so hard at watching his videos for the first time. It's just too good.
His video on vaping is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Vape Nation?
Where he's like going around to the vape shops and like he gets
I want to rip the fattest cloud. And the other guy's like, what, dude?
And he just, every single time he just like coughs and like falls
the cough
apart.
is just so clutch.
And he goes outside the like news station, you know, and he's like, what would you call it? Not like
photobombing this,
like photobombing the news station, but like sort of posing, but there's another word for it that I can't remember, like strutting his stuff or something, you know, but it's all vaping, like I don't know.
Yeah. And the guy, the host of the news show takes a selfie of him or takes a picture of him
like
and tweets it. So it just makes it so much greater, like so much more amazing.
Yeah.
It was, oh my god, that channel was so good, and it's one of my favorite subscriptions like this year because what he says is what I think.
Yeah.
Of like all these retarded like reaction channels that I hate. I hate reaction channels just because they don't, like 99% of them are shit, like except H3H3, right? Because like they don't add anything to the conversation. They don't make the video funnier. They don't do any edits themselves. Like these guys, they have so many good videos on their YouTube channel. It's insane.
Yeah,
and like really even their old shit where they're just super cringy.
Yep.
It's just so good. And their new stuff with like other people, like other YouTubers. They have a podcast with Dan Harmon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, was it Dan Harmon? It's not Dan Harmon.
He's the guy from Rick and Morty, and
but he did the voice of Lemon Grab. What is this? What is this guy? It's the podcast, but where is it? Oh my god, what is the podcast guy? Who is it? And then the humongous guy, like this guy is like, did you see that? The humongous thing?
I vaguely remember something about it, but I'm forgetting the whole plot.
Okay, so there's this guy that's walking around, like the news are interviewing him. And then he leaves. They're done with him, so he's leaving. And this girl comes up to him with a camera, and she's like, "Oh, or like, what are you doing, or something?" And then he's like, "Oh, do you want to know my name?" She's like, "Sure. What's your name?" "I'm Hugh." So Hugh, oh, humongous. And she's like, "Is that sexual harassment?" He's like, "What?" She's like, "Is that sexual harassment? This guy is sexually harassing me." He's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, they tried to say that was like sexual harassment.
Yeah, it was just so stupid. And then H3H3 Ethan, he's like, he messages the guy and he finds him, and then the guy comes out and he's like, turns out to be just a legitimately cool dude. And then he's like, "Oh, you know what? I don't need any money right now, so donate money to this other, or raise awareness to this one charity." So the charity was like, "Oh my god, we praise Humongous." So the community was like, praise Humongous, right? And then the guy has like some kind of disease, I think some kind of cancer. And they put the fundraiser on this fundraising site, and they shut it down. Like the lady that called them sexual harassment has the fundraiser on that same page, and hers is fine, right? His got shut down. So of course the internet went ape shit. They make a new fundraiser, and he gets $140,000 for his operation, plus
holy crap,
to get some money for himself. So it was like, holy fuck, dude! This guy has a real impact on the community. So even though it's like he's so funny, but it's like so silly, but he's legitimately a cool dude, man. And his wife is amazing too. You know, I love him. Nice. It's crazy. It was Justin Rowland who they had the podcast with. So you want to check that out? Yeah, dude, definitely, it's awesome. H3H3, Vape Nation representing here. So yeah. Well, okay, what else you got?
I have best new technology
Okay.
is VR.
VR. Okay.
VR was like technically around, but 2016 was the year that like the devices actually shipped and released to consumers. And it's just crazy. Like real like we're living in the future moments, you know.
Yeah.
When like I can just be like standing here in my room, like put on the headset and immediately I'm someplace else. I'm playing games, you know, like high-fiving and fist bumping like people who aren't even there in the like, you know,
Yeah.
it totally naturally, like all these crazy experiences in games, and it's like totally clearly the future of gaming because it's just so immersive, and it completely changes everything to be able to be inside the game instead of just looking through a little window of your
Right.
monitor into the game.
Yeah, man. I still have to like. I haven't tried any VR games ever because like my computer can't run it in the first place. But I
That's
still
the
have never
unfortunate
had.
part.
I had never had a VR headset on, so
Mm-hmm.
I still have to try that because I know it's gonna be amazing. But
Yeah,
you know,
it's seriously crazy. Like it really changes everything. Like I'll still play games on the PC
hmm
sometimes, but it's sort of like what's the point? It would be like, I mean, it's literally almost this big. Like say you have like games as they are now on the PC, right?
right.
Compare that to playing like tic-tac-toe or games like that on a sheet of paper. Like like you could either play an RTS on the computer or maybe you just draw it out on a sheet of paper. Like which one would you actually care about? Obviously the one where it's like actually happening on the screen, right?
Right.
It's like that, but one jump further. Like why would you play a game like a first person shooter or something on a screen just looking at this little picture when you could actually do it for real,
Yeah.
you
Dude,
know?
that video that you sent me was so cool. They were actually like inside the game.
That's how it is. Like
That
you're
is crazy.
actually in another place. You're in the game.
That
And
is so insane.
it's so immersive and so like powerful and compelling that there's games that like I won't play, and that's a good thing because like horror games are actually horrifying, like and that's like a mark of how good the technology is because like
When you watch on the screen, it doesn't scare you, but in
when you watch
VR,
on the
it
screen, who
does.
cares? Like it's just you're just like watching a movie, which can be
Right.
kind of creepy sometimes,
Yeah.
but you still always it's just a movie. Who cares? But
Yeah.
in VR, it will literally like things are so real and so compelling that it will literally make you just like scream or like rip the headset off or freak out, and not
Dude.
because you were startled, because some part of your brain is like, holy shit, we are about to die.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you know, it just because it's giving you all the experience of the game through your real senses, you know, the way you would actually see it in reality. And so part of your brain is just like, this is happening. And that's the amazing part. And it's so amazing that it makes some traditional game things just off limits because like why would you do that?
like actually killing someone or something like that.
That happens too. So there was this World War II game, right?
Uh-huh.
And you start off and I'm on like the third story. I'm on like the top story of a building that's been blasted out, right?
Uh-huh.
Some city. The whole thing is like bombed to shit. And I'm like, wow, you know, this place is really fucked up. And I don't have a weapon or anything. And it's like a sniping game. And they're like, oh, hide behind this, you know, this little crushed up wall. So I hide behind it. And then this guy comes, an enemy soldier comes up he doesn't see me. And he's like, he has his back to me now. He's looking out the window where I was looking out. And they're like, to get a gun, pick up a rock and club this guy. And I'm
Wow.
like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I did it because it's the game. You know, I picked up
Right.
the rock and I like smashed him in the back of the head and took his gun and then started, shooting. But it like actually made me stop and be like, well, I don't know how I feel about this. Like,
I don't know. I don't want to kill another human being.
yeah, right. Like, I don't want to kill anybody, and like it's real enough, and it feels like it's actually happening enough that it makes you stop, and you're like,
Wow.
I don't know how I feel about this, but I guess I'm gonna do it. Oh, okay, that didn't feel good, Like that was not a good thing. So that'd have to be my top technology pick for this year.
I would have to say my top technology of this year. Let's see what I mean. Oh, you know what? Google or Android Auto. That I thought that was something that was necessary because I still cannot comprehend the insane amount of people that use their phones when you're actually driving. Like it is actually insane. If I'm driving, right? And the best I can do or the most I can do is like have a drink as I'm driving. Or like hit the button to change the song, right?
Yeah, work the radio.
That's the most I will do when I'm driving.
Yeah.
If I drop something, forget it. It's getting there until I stop.
Yep.
Because if I have to pick something up and use my concentration for that, there's no way I can drive safely and do that.
Totally.
So I have no freaking idea how people can like text, call. I mean, a call. Okay,
even a call is distracting enough.
Yeah,
even on speakerphone, you're like not 100% there anymore.
Imagine if you're like driving right in the highway, you're going 80, and you get a call like, "Hey, your brother's in the hospital." You'd be like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Oh shit! Let me exit. You get in an accident right there.
Yeah.
So something like that could still be dangerous, but like Google Auto is actually pretty good because it mixes music, maps, and I think that's it. It doesn't allow for anything else. And in order for you to cancel it, you have to like specifically tell it that you're stopped.
Yeah.
So it's like it only allows for directions, the phone, and music. So like you can't text, and if you press back a lot of the times, it won't exit. You have to hit a specific button that says exit Android Auto. Your screen will no longer be optimized for driving. So
yeah, and it changes the display, right? So it's better it's like makes everything big and like big.
Yeah, buttons. So you only hit it with like one hit, So you don't have to like specifically hit something or something like that. So I think that takes it for me because I've used it. So I haven't used VR yet. If I use VR, I'll probably say VR is probably the best thing that ever happened this year in technology or last year. But definitely Google Auto, maybe the Amazon Echo or something like that. That's been going around a lot. I haven't used any of those. So I'll go with the Google Auto for now. I thought that was impressive. And it deserves recognition for being good, I think.
Sweet.
So I got my last one here.
Okay, cool.
What's the best disappointment of 2016?
So, best disappointment.
Right.
I'm a little confused by this category. Maybe if you have an example.
I mean, if you say best disappointment, it would be something like you were expecting something terrible and it came up good, right? All right, how about that? Was there anything that you thought was gonna be like something just terrible, and then you were like, "This isn't that bad"? So like like your ramen burrito, for example, maybe that was good.
Yeah, that was so yeah, that was kind of weird. The ramen and bacon burrito was actually good. So here's how you make it really quick in 2 seconds. You take a flour tortilla, not this corn bullshit. You take a flour tortilla and you make some ramen, you make some bacon, you mix those together, Parmesan cheese.
Easy.
Put it in the tortilla. You go to YouTube, you find someone from a South American country to teach you how to make a burrito.
How to wrap it.
Or just listen to our old video, and then you throw it in the toaster oven for a couple of minutes to sort of make it all cook together, seal up. And then it's crunchy, it's got cheese, it's got bacon, Texture is a little
Delicious.
weird because it's pretty soft, sort of spongy ramen inside a burrito, but it's good. So I guess I'm gonna go with that. That was the
best disappointment of
the best disappointment. I mean, I did not have high hopes for ramen burritos. Instant ramen burritos. You know?
Of course, instant ramen.
This is the best 65-cent sandwich you can possibly make. How about you for best disappointment?
I don't think a best disappointment. I can't really. Oh, okay. You know what? When I went to Japan, it wasn't anything related to Japan.
Okay.
But Brandon, this guy from Canada, we met on Scandal Heaven on this forum. He sends me shit with Neil. So I went on the plane with Neil. So Neil gave me what Brandon sent me.
Okay.
So we're at the in the airplane, right? Surrounded by people, by other passengers.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, by the way, here's what Brandon sent you. So I look. He gives me a package of cookies. It says, "Cock do ass." So I was like, what? That was the name of the cookie. Was cock do ass.
Okay.
I was like, dude, are you kidding me? Holy fuck! So actually, we had some, and they were actually really good. So that would have to be the best. I expected them to be some kind of disgusting cookies that he would just send me for because of the name. He was like, let's pick the funniest thing no matter what the content.
Yeah.
So these are called cock do ass and they suck. They're actually pretty tasty. So I guess I have to go with the cock do ass, man. They were pretty good.
Best enjoyed in public.
Yeah, of course.
In a
I said the name out
environment
loud
where you cannot leave and you're surrounded close quarters by a lot of people.
And I did say the name out loud, so people were probably wondering, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Cocks and ass in the plane,
eating
and,
them,
and his traveling partner is a dude. Yeah, that was.
And he's like, "Yes, it's pretty good. This is good. This is way better than I expected."
Yeah, hey, do you want some cock to ass?
Do you have any
some
more?
extra here?
Sweet.
I guess I'll have to be. That's the end of my list.
That's all I have. That's all I've got.
All right. Well, I think that's a pretty good.
It's a pretty good recap of
pretty good
2016.
award ceremony. So, congratulations to all the winners. All the losers, fuck off. And
there will not be any trophies. So
no.
Just imagine how good the trophies could have been.
Yeah. Think about the Oscar, but way worse. All right. So I think that's it for us. Next year, we do another award session.
Perfect.